Louise Casey is savagely critical of a general failure to gather evidence on the ethnicity of perpetrators of sex crimes against children. Do you accept that on the left and in the Labour Party there was a willful refusal to see the link between ethnicity and these appalling crimes?
Well, I've set up the National Inquiry and it's got to go wherever the evidence takes it. And if that's into question of ethnicity, then of course it must go into that place. What I can tell you is that, hear me out, I was the chief prosecutor when the first of these cases was brought. I was absolutely clear with my prosecutors that ethnicity should not be a reason to take decisions other than on the evidence and in the public interest. But look, this inquiry now needs to go wherever the evidence takes it, into those issues, into question of whether public officials didn't act in the way that they should, or other assumptions.
But obviously I know
made.
you stand by your record, and I've heard you many times say that Kemi Badenoch and Chris Philp did not grasp this issue. But nonetheless, there will be many who say that it wasn't appropriate for you to accuse them of pandering to the far right by calling for a national inquiry, particularly since you now accept the case for a national inquiry.
Well, look, what I was calling out was politicians. I was absolutely clear in my words, not other people, politicians. And the point I was making is this, that they were in power, and when
but
they
you're
were
a courteous person. You've got to accept this looks
Robert,
inappropriate.
Hear me out. These were people who were in power for many years when others of us, myself included, were calling for mandatory reporting in child sexual exploitation cases. It fell on deaf ears. Kemi Badenoch in particular was Minister, I think, for Children and for Women, and not once mentioned this issue. That's what I was calling out. I certainly wasn't calling out a wider group than that, and I stand